It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the most special of our episodes all year. This is the finale, the championship. One of the two elementary schools you're about to meet is going to take home the county championship for the very first time ever in our 32 years here on the air. What are they taking home today if they win? We've got a nice plaque for the school, which we will engrave in individual plaques for all of the players and alternates. And every player today and indeed in all of our semifinal matches will be taking home what we hope is a gift that they will cherish for a lifetime, an Audubon field guide in a variety of topics, whatever suits their fancy. If they like birds or fossils or the night sky or mammals, and something that will never go out of style. And really the only reason we're able to give these books out is because of the generosity of the supervisor of library media services here in Prince George's Schools, the one and only Sherry Bloom. And Sherry, we can't thank you enough. This is the second year in a row you've done that, and these wonderful books, and I know you're a big fan, there's something, as I said, to treasure.
There's something very special about them. As a lot of people know, I started out in zoology, but it's thanks to my grandfather. And my grandfather was kind of a walking book. And so these books are like that. They give you information, and I want them for my grandchild. So I think they're a great resource.
Well, if we have some extra, maybe we can get some for your grandchildren, because without you devoting part of your budget to do this, I don't know that we would have these, and we appreciate what you've done. And these books have wonderful pictures and descriptions and whatever you like to do out in nature. Why don't you get away from your computers and outside to see some certain things, and this will be a great companion. Sherry, thanks very much.
You're welcome, and good luck to everybody. I hope you have a great, great time today.
Absolutely.
All right, it's time now to meet the teams. We are welcoming from Rogers Heights Elementary School. Our players are Juan Hernandez, Shri Rutala, and David Menendez. And playing against them is the team from Whitehall Elementary, which is say hello to Conrad Pagalian, Carlington Wallen, and Henry Cole. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. Easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher, 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Let's go over and make sure everybody has good equipment. We start our teams out with 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds today, we will have a new county champion. All right, Rogers Heights, welcome back. Shri, try your buzzer for me. All right, looks and sounds A-OK. Good luck to you, David and Tawan. And Carlington, the Whitehall team, nice to have you guys back too. Try your buzzer. It too looks and sounds just fine. Good luck to you, to Conrad and Henry. And guys, you are the best of the best. You know how to play this game. And just may the better team win. But in my mind and all the people watching, you've won already just for making it here. The final 2 out of the 40 schools we started with. Let's have a good game. We go alphabetically R before W. So Rogers Heights and Shri, let's play this game.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, if you suffer from heartburn or GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, acid from your stomach bubbles up into your esophagus. It goes through which of the following openings to go from the stomach to the esophagus? Is it called the cardiac sphincter, the cardiac valve, or the cardiac tunnel? Which of those 3, Whitehall?
The cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. The cardiac sphincter.
Sphincter is absolutely right. Good choice there. Go. Again, green.
Green things for 15, please.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, plants that have red pigments in their leaves, pigments called anthocyanins, can still photosynthesize because underneath the anthocyanin pigments are Whitehall.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, absolutely right. And that does the job of photosynthesis. Absolutely right. Go again. Green, Whitehall.
Zuperade for 15, please.
Zuperade for 15 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, we know that cardinals are generally red birds, but occasionally you see a yellow cardinal because of a mutation. Another word for a mutation is which of these? I was going to give you some choices. What do you want to say, gentlemen?
I'm going to pass to David. Defect.
Not a defect. The three choices for a synonym for mutation is an aberration, an appellation, or an abomination.
The first one.
The first one. Yes, indeed. An aberration. Good. Go. Green.
Body systems for 15, please.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, the baseball pitcher Tommy Johns famously had surgery to replace his ulnar collateral ligament. In what body joint? Whitehall.
Elbow.
His elbow. Yeah, if you're a pitcher, that's the most important joint there. And he famously had that ligament taken from another part of his body, and now it is oftentimes used for pitchers with that kind of problem. Go again. Green.
Let's get physical for 15, please.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, a very familiar tropical fish is the tetra. It's very colorful. And its adjective that normally precedes tetra is this inert chemical element that is also used to light up signs in Las Vegas.
Neon.
Neon, a neon tetra. That's it. Good. Go. Red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Get physical for 20 points. All right, teams, it is a visual question, and it is also multiple choice. This glass that I have contains Wesson oil. This test tube has Wesson oil. And if I put the test tube inside the glass, you'll notice that the glass disappears. You can't see the test tube anymore. Here are your choices. The reason why that happens is because the oil and the Pyrex in the glass have the same index of diffraction, the index of reflection, or the Whitehall.
The third one. The third one?
I haven't mentioned a third one.
Refraction. Index of refraction. Refraction?
That is right. I would have said refraction. Absolutely right. I didn't think I had said that. All right, good playing there. Nicely done, Henry. Go. Red, green.
Science potpourri for 15, please.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, dentists have come up with little monitors that they can attach to your teeth to let you know and them know how much alcohol you're drinking and how much of these two foodstuffs that can cause problems. Rogers Heights. What you got?
Pastor David. Fat and carbohydrates?
No, good try. The other two, other than alcohol, things that are monitored by these monitors on your teeth are these two chemicals that can cause health problems if you eat them if you eat too much of them. The formulas are NaCl and C6H12O6.
Sodium chloride and I don't know the other one.
What do you have?
I pass it to Henry. Sodium chloride. And I don't know the other.
All right, good try. Sodium chloride is right, which is otherwise known as salt, and the other one is sugar. Sugar. Go again, green.
DATELINE science for 15, please.
DATELINE science for 15 points. Teams, the radioactive chemical element polonium is named after the country Poland.
Okay, I'm going to pass to David. Discovered by Marie Curie?
Absolutely, Marie Curie, who was from Poland. Good. You anticipated where I was heading that time. All right, 80 points. You need some more. Let's turn that red light out and give the choice to David, or to Shree. Ooh, the buzzer says that was a fast first round. Our score is 80 for Rogers Heights, 135 in this championship match, and we'll be back with the second round in just a moment. Don't go. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. As we were saying, this is the ultimate competition. We've waited all year to crown a new elementary Science Bowl champ. It will be one of these two great schools. Maybe you've met these players earlier in the year. If not, here's your chance. Rogers Heights, nice to have you guys here. They're holding on to that buzzer for dear life. You can relax just a little bit. Shree, tell us about your school. Tell us who your principal is.
Our principal is Dr. Bottoms.
Wonderful, and I know she's been here to urge you and cheer you on many times. And the sponsor of your team?
Is Mr. Pippin.
The one and only Mr. Pitt. Yeah, he's done a great job this year. And any alternates on your team?
Our alternates are Kennedy, Hawa, Jorge, and Senegat, and Aria.
Wonderful. Yeah, you've got almost 2 shadow teams out there. Tell me something about Rogers Heights you think we should know.
What you should know about Rogers Heights is that we have a lot of after-school activities. We have volleyball, flag football, soccer, basketball, and we also have makerspace and arts integration.
Wow, that's wonderful. So you've got the arts, you've got the academics, you've got the sports, you've got great opportunities over there, and obviously you guys are taking good advantage of all of them. Someday, Shree, you're going to be an engineer, yeah?
An aerospace engineer.
Aerospace engineer. You'll be a good one. You've got that discipline and you're a wonderful player here. David, tell us about yourself. What does David do in his spare time?
I like to play video games and go outside.
Absolutely. And I know you dazzled us on an earlier game by knowing that gallium will dissolve in your hands, a metal that a lot of times people use to make spoons from, and they disappear as they're stirring their coffee or their cocoa. You must study science a lot, David.
Yes, I used to read books when I was little and stuff.
You remembered a lot, and you're an excellent player, as are you, Juan. Tell us about yourself. Someday you want to get into medicine, but you want to get into the data side too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, because as you told me before, you know, if you're a cardiologist, you need some good data that you can read and understand. What do you do in your spare time?
So I play video games, I do chores, I watch TV, and I take care of my sister.
Your sister. Is your sister, how old is your sister?
Like about 3 months.
3 months, oh my goodness. So you're going to have to save the tape of this so she can watch you someday and appreciate all that you've accomplished. Thanks for sharing that. Whitehall, nice to have you guys back too. Carlington, tell us about Whitehall. You're a school over there in Bowie. You are a blue ribbon school, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a national award, and you're wearing your blue shirts over there, as are you guys, different shades of blue. And I can see some science paraphernalia on there. I see a flask, and I can see those atomic models. And you guys would dearly love, as would Rogers Heights, to win the county championship, wouldn't you? Yes. Yeah, well, it's certainly within both of your grasps at this point. Who's your principal?
Mr. Christian.
Absolutely. He's out there, and I know he's not here today, but he is rooting for you from afar. And the sponsors of your team?
Miss Farmer and Miss Wine.
Absolutely, and they have been dedicated to getting you guys ready for these games, and they have done so much work. We appreciate both of them for all they've done. Alternates on your team?
Vincent and Mark.
Wonderful. And something else, I was just talking about the Blue Ribbon School, something else about Whitehall we should know.
Whitehall, we're very friendly and very welcoming.
Boy, is that nice to know, because you know, you don't want to go to a school where everyone is kind of uptight and kind of off-putting. If you have friendly smiles, that makes a lot of difference. That's a good point. Thank you, Carlington. And what do you want to do someday? You want to be a vet, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and we still haven't gotten her a pet. We need to get her a pet. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, you want to practice before you get into the office there. Henry, you're a botanist. How'd you get interested in plants?
Well, honestly, I used to think it was a chore, but I would help weed the garden with my dad, and eventually I got pretty interested in the plants that he was working with and everything.
Yeah,
it was really, really fun.
That's how it happens. Sometimes you get an experience and it can change the course of your life, maybe your career goals, and you're a really good player, Henry. It's good to have you back. You're welcome. And Conrad, you're a video game player? Yep.
Yep.
And you like to read books?
Yep.
What have you read lately that maybe you can recommend to us?
Science books.
Science books, yeah. Are you a Harry Potter or fan at all?
Not really, but I usually, sometimes if I'm really interested in it, I read really thick books.
Yeah, some fantasy books too. All right, let's get back to the game. 135 for Whitehall, 80 for Rogers Heights. Lots of points to give away, and red team, Cherie, let's go.
Science Potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, as a visual question, look at the monitor in the studio. Back in 1812, the governor of Massachusetts carved up the voting districts in his state so that his party would have an advantage. The creature that they drew around there was named for a creature that we know as a lizard-like. Yes.
A dragon?
Not a dragon. What kind of lizard-like amphibian is that supposed to represent?
I pass it to Henry.
Frog?
No, a salamander. It's called a gerrymander. Good try. Go red.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Teams, editing genes is now high tech. And some scientists are now trying to edit the genes of chickens so they can lay eggs that are hypoallergenic, and also so that we can grow these kinds of drugs that we get to prevent disease.
Vaccines?
Vaccines, yeah. A lot of times if you're allergic to eggs, you can't get a vaccine. They want to change that. Good answer. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. There is a Chinese tree that was brought into this country accidentally called the Tree of Heaven, and there are never any other plants growing around it because it actively produces what kind of chemical that kills plants?
Pesticide?
Not a pesticide, no. Whitehall, what is the name of the chemical that specifically can kill plants that this tree of life produces naturally?
Herbicide?
Herbicide, that's what I want to hear. Good. Red or green? Go ahead.
Zuperate for 20, please.
Zuperate for 20 points is another visual question. If you could look at the monitor, please. Teams, this tusk fish is highly evolved. You can see it's trying to grab that clamshell, which it cannot bite open. It takes the clamshell and it beats it against the coral reef to crack it open. Almost like a hammer against one of these flat top things you Yes, Rogers Heights? What is that called?
A nail?
Not a nail, no. That is like a hammer against what flat top iron device that is often used in a workshop that produces horseshoes.
I pass it to Henry.
An anvil.
An anvil, yes, it acts just like an anvil. Go green.
Green things for 10, please.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, kale and spinach and lettuce are known as these kinds of greens that are said to be very healthy.
Leafy greens. Leafy?
Leafy greens, absolutely right. Designed to improve your memory, so eat more of them. All right, our botanist came through over there. 185 to 105. We go to the green team. Carlington. Let's turn that green light out over there.
Zuperate for 10, please.
Zuperate for 10 points. Recently, the gorilla at the National Zoo was about to give birth, and the headline in the paper said, "Gorilla awaits the arrival of what bird?" Rogers Heights.
I'm going to pass it to David.
A stork?
A stork, yeah. The stork brings the baby. Baby gorillas, too. Good. Go red. Thanks, Dave.
Science Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, Google, Google, is, of course, a famous search engine. Googol, Google, is the number. What you got? What do you
Pass
have?
it to David.
Goggles?
No, not goggles, Whitehall. This is a math question, really. A Google, Googol, is a number that is 10 to the, it is 100 to the 10th power, which is 1 followed by how many zeros?
100. 100?
100, absolutely right. Good, green.
It's a lot of zeros. Body systems for 10, please.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, this is kind of disturbing, but it wasn't until the Apollo 8 moon mission that the astronaut, Frank Borman, experienced reverse peristalsis. He did this in outer space. Rogers Heights.
He threw up in outer space?
He threw up, yeah, he barfed. He tossed his cookies. Go, red.
Let's get physical for, Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline Science for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Recently, scientists discovered something called an interstitium. It is a part of the body we never knew existed. It's right under the skin. It works with the lymph system. And since it's unique and all these tissues work together, like the heart, the lung, and the kidney, it is one of these. Rogers Heights.
A system?
Not a system. No, it's a what? Since all these tissues work together as one unique system, as one unique part of the body, it's like the heart, the kidney, and the liver. It's a what?
Organ.
It's an organ. Yeah, not an organ system. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10, please.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, when the Cassini spacecraft was about finished with its job, it crashed into the second largest.
Saturn.
It crashed into Saturn. The second largest planet is right. Go.
Science potpourri for 10, please.
Potpourri for 10 points. Multiple choice question. In Europe, a lot of the glaciers are melting and retreating. To stop it, are people covering the glaciers with coal dust, with bales of straw, or white sheets? Rogers Heights.
White sheets?
White sheets to reflect the sun. Good, go. You need some points.
Okay, let's get physical for 25.
That's the way to do it. All right, let's get physical for 25 points. Our cell phones work with radio waves. Well, radio waves and X-rays and ultraviolet and invisible lights are all part of the EM spectrum. What does EM stand for?
Electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum.
You got that right. The electromagnetic spectrum, it is. Nicely done over there, Whitehall. Go.
DATELINE science for 10, please.
DATELINE science for 10 points. Teams, we all know that Stephen J. Hawking sadly passed away recently at the age of 76, and he is known for black holes and also for his book, A Brief History of
Time.
Time is right. Yes, good. Green.
Green things for 5, please.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, you know, a lot of today's dictionaries are digital, but some people still have dictionaries made from these dead
Trees?
trees, dead tree version. That's right. Okay, red.
Body systems for 25?
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, children who have difficulty reading and writing and spelling oftentimes suffer from dyslexia. Spell dyslexia. Who's my speller?
I pass it to Henry.
Okay, Henry.
Say
the word for me.
Dyslexia.
Yes, sir.
DYSLEXIA.
You got it, young man. Good. 25 points. Go again.
Super 8 for 5, please.
Super 8 for 5 points. Teams, let's talk. Turn the green light out, please. Super 8 for 5 points. Let's talk cinematic rodents here. Mickey was a mouse. Remy was a rat. Bucky was a beaver. And Alvin and Simon were these.
Chipmunks?
Yeah, they're chipmunks. Go.
Super 8 for 25.
Super 8 for 25 points. Teams, most butterflies feed on flowers. They unravel their proboscis and they suck nectar. But some butterflies are lacrophagic. They land on animals and drink these. Rogers Heights. What are they drinking, guys?
Milk?
Not milk, no. They're lacrophagic. So when these butterflies land on animals, they're there to drink their what?
Pass it to Henry.
Blood.
Not blood, tears. Tears. Try again, please, red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, we know that the physics of cartoons are unusual because this force, yes.
Gravity.
Yeah, it doesn't kick in until you look down. All right, go, green.
Body systems for 5, please.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, this part of your body that has the same name as a tropical swaying tree will be, yes.
I'm going to pass it, David.
Palm.
A palm, yeah, face palm. Is like, oh gosh, I can't believe I said that. All right, the buzzer is rung and we have a new county champion. We'll be back to make it official in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. What a game we had here. The Whitehall people are over there. They can't wait to start dancing. They've waited a long time for this because they are the new county champions. with a score of 305 points. The team from Whitehall, Conrad and Carlington and Henry, congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Also standing back there, alternates are Vincent and Mark, and they are holding some plaques to take home. And Carlington, the team captain, is taking a plaque that will hang proudly in their schools. And Miss Farmer, their vice principal / coach, is here, and this is her last year as coach. She's going to be a permanent vice principal. Congratulations. And Don, you have worked so hard for this. And you know, I asked you before, can they keep these shirts? And you said, well, they're kind of loaners. Can they keep them now? All right, they get to keep them. And with 150 points, what a team from Rogers Heights. Remarkable. Juan and Shri and David, you guys know so much. We don't want to let you go. We love having you here. And look at all the alternates back there as well. Jorge and Aria and Sonata, Kennedy and Hawa, and 2 vice principals are here today, Mr. Rivers and Miss Rodriguez. Thank you for being here. And the one and only, he made this happen, Mr. Gonzalo Pitt. Congratulations to you. And we congratulate all of our judges. They've been sitting over here in the dark, shivering, and you know, we don't pay them. They do this because they volunteer. Mark and Debbie and Janine and Esther, thank you always for being here. And our great interns here who are always on duty making everybody look good. We've got Dwayne Brown, we've got Justin Coles, we've got Rodney Jones in there, and the man who makes this happen, I'm just the front guy. The real guy behind all of this is my director and friend, Chuck Wolf. So thank you all, and thank you for being here for Science Bowl. We hope to see you again. Bye-bye.